Is this the end, Mr Johnson?
Once a Prime Minister, now out of office, out of Parliament and, for now, out of political road. After a 14-month investigation, finally time for the verdict. Did Boris Johnson mislead Parliament over partygate? A unanimous yes from the Privileges Committee, its report damning of Boris Johnson's conduct and character, accusing him of having deliberately misled the House of Commons and the committee investigating him, impugning their work, undermining the democratic process, while being complicit in the campaign of abuse and attempted intimidation of the committee. Enough to recommend a suspension of 90 days if he were still an MP, far exceeding the period needed to trigger a by-election, and a recommendation that his parliamentary members' pass be withdrawn.
Boris Johnson is not only a lawbreaker but a liar. He's not fit for public office and he's disgraced himself and continues to act like a, pound-shot Trump in the way in which he tries to discredit anybody who criticises his actions when actually a decent public servant would have done the honourable thing, would have had a little bit of humility and would have apologised.
An apology the last thing on Mr Johnson's mind, instead pure anger. The committee now says that I deliberately misled the House, and at the moment I spoke I was consciously concealing from the House my knowledge of illicit events. This is rubbish. It is a lie. He went on to say, "This report is a charade. I was wrong to believe in the committee or its good faith. The terrible truth is that it is not I who has twisted the truth to suit my purposes. It is Harriet Harman and her committee. This is a dreadful day for MPs and for democracy." MPs in here agreeing with him, but for very different reasons.
Boris Johnson lied. He lied to MPs, he lied to the people of this country, he lied to nurses, doctors, care workers, bus drivers, everyone. As I read this report this morning, I thought of all those people, including constituents of mine, who couldn't say goodbye as loved ones lay dying. When they hear these headlines, they will be forced to relive their own hurt and anger.
MPs will vote on Monday to pass their judgment. The leader of the House clear. Members will decide free from party pressure.
It will be a painful process and a sad process for all of us, the task that we face on Monday. But all of us must do what we think is right, and others must leave us alone to do so.
You have the whole of the opposition against him, but you also have the Boris haters in the Conservative Party.
This, one of Boris Johnson's biggest allies, confident he'll lose the vote, but also sure this is not the end. Is he too damaged from this? Can he come back? Will he come back?
It depends on the judgment people come to. I think many people will look at 90 days and will think that that is simply too harsh, too aggressive, and shows what the committee was really trying to do. I think this will generate sympathy for him, but he is still a popular national figure. He still has a connection with voters that most politicians would give their eye teeth for.
This PM struggling in the polls and struggling with his former boss on an immigration visit this morning, far away from Westminster, but not the drama engulfing his party. And what a drama it's been. 3 separate partygate investigations that resulted in police fines, the resignation of Boris Johnson as PM and now his departure as an MP. It has been a psychodrama that has distracted and disrupted the Conservative Party and the government. And while the report is now concluded, the investigations are over, the fallout continues with a party now divided, by-elections on the way, and a frenzy around what Boris Johnson might do next. Boris Johnson dominated here after his 2019 triumph. Now ejected from Parliament, disgraced, he nevertheless looms large, keeping his options open and casting a shadow over his successor still. Beth Rigby, Sky News in Westminster.